evening and welcome to our 9 p.m. English news brought to you live by RTD. My name is Anna Farah. The largest dam of water at PK territory. International Day of Peace, a group of students visit the police academy. United States Summit, Donald Trump met African leaders in New York. And now the national news. The work of a large dam in Djibouti, which is started 2 months ago, are going down is the titanic structure retaining water overbuilt in the Republic of Djibouti, which is currently having the score of construction of 33 kilometers of Djibouti instead of Langobola. This dam, which is more than 200 meters long and 400 meters wide and 40 meters of height, may retain more than 14 million cubic meters of water. It is artificial lake. The cost of this project, the total is $2.350 billion, is financed in the form of the donation by the Turk for the benefit of the Republic of Djibouti. The work has been entrusted to the Society of Ilova. The Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Awale, has carried out today a visit on the site of this project. In an interview to the RTD during the visit of the site of the dam, the Minister of Agriculture has announced that this work will be carried out on the place, said Langulit. It will channel the water of rain during the flood from the river of Ombuli. This dam will carry out by the Turk Corporation. This dam will have a dual function of first secure of the city of Djibouti, the face of the flood threat, but also will be an important to the secure of the port infrastructure and the new free zone installed downstream of the river of Ombuli. By addition of the project, such an annex of hydraulic work of agriculture perimeter will be realized at the turn of the site of the dam between the plain of Lagal up to Wea. In the framework of the International Day of Peace, more than 100 students composed of girls and boys of the year 9 of Ombole have made yesterday morning a visit at the police academy Idris Farah Abane to Nagat. This effect, the students were accompanied by the principal of their college and several officers of the Monfort. Upon their arrival, the students and the official of Monfort were warmly greeted by the office of the National Police. The visitors were then took the direction of the API, where they have received explanation by the detailed menu on the program of these days of the visit. Then a video projected has made a tour of the story and the structure of the police institution. At the end of their visit, the Lieutenant Colonel of the National Police Academy, Mr. Ilmi Dahir Miguel, said that he is pleased with this visit of the young students who have taken note of the kindly mission of the National Police. He said he is confident that healthy rapport that has been established between the youth and the security force. He finally welcomed this joint action of the Monfort and the National Police in favor of youth. In a framework of preparation for the next legislative election of the Youth Commission of Arhiba, launch of an operation of inscription and awareness of those people who are not registered on the list of electoral. This operation, conducted door to door, are following the call of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, who had put the emphasis on the importance of registration on the list of electoral during its passage to Arhiba to participate a lunch which was organized by the youth people of the district in his honor. This initiative of the member of the Youth Commission of the neighborhood Arhiba has been welcomed by the inhabitants of the neighborhood. In the objective on flourishing youth program, the sport and at the same time detected the talent of direction of the CDC of Anglais came yesterday afternoon at the end of turbulence with rich in activities such as emotion, Doing evidence of the serious endorsements, young people are competed in several disciplines to know the football, volleyball, judo, video games, as well as the competition of reading and the best photographer. And I was in the front of the responsible and wise man of the neighborhood that came at the ceremony, and a reward has been given. In the permanent concern to extend and improve the medical cover in the most remote rural area, the mobile team of the regional hospital of Ali Sabih visited respectively to Hor Farahdil and under the leadership of Dr. Abdullah Saeed Abdullah. The objective of this motion is enrich this region isolated to provide curative and preventative health care to the benefit of the population and the surrounding communities. In effect, the mobile team composed of nurse, pharmacists, midwife, laboratory technician has provided care to a large number of inhabitants. A strong delegation of the Association of UDC, Union for the Development and the Culture, led by its chairman Muhammad Hassan, was yesterday in Daudouya in the region of Dikil for a ceremony of discount of school kits and clothes for 60 students as well as clothes for their family. This donation is one of the school kits into the cause of the food war has been possible thanks to the generosity of the member of the UDC following the organization a night of solidarity in Djibouti and the support of partnership like the Account Association present has in the ceremony. The representative of the UCD as well as the association partner has promised to continue this kind of help. The director of the school of Daudouya and the mother of a family have strongly thanks to the association of UDC for this voluntary action in a rural school, which will motivate the children for the school. The representative of the UDC as well as Mrs. Amina and Mr. Khairi have announced that this promotion of school support for the children and promised that this kind of action will be continued in the other rural schools. The regional news now. Kenya Electoral Commission has postponed the repeated presidential election by 9 days to October 26. The sitting needs to meet the standards set out by the Supreme Court in its judgment that the nullified last month's ballot. Saeed Mohammed has more detail.
Kenya's election body, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, has announced a new date for the presidential poll rerun ordered by the Supreme Court. A statement issued by the IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati said the new date for the election is October the 26th later this year. He added that the commission was studying the detailed ruling issued by the court on Wednesday. There is no doubt that the judgment impact on the election operation and in particular technology to be deployed. In order to ensure that the Commission is fully prepared to deliver an election that meets the standards set out by the Supreme Court, we wish to notify the public and all stakeholders that the fresh presidential election shall now be held on Thursday, the 26th October, this statement added. The court is annulling the vote ordered that a rerun be held within 60 days. The IEBC had earlier slated October the 17th for the rerun. The date was stiffly opposed by the petitioners, while the ruling Jubilee coalition insisted that it should be held on the scheduled date.
In Uganda now, where the same events are taking place, Ugandan's authority postponed a bill to extend the leader of Yoweri Museveni rules after protesters took to the street against it on Thursday, confronting police who fired tear gas. More updates in this video.
Group of students at Makerere Public University in the capital Kampala had rallied to start marching toward parliaments before police dispersed them and arrested some. The move to amend the constitution has met widespread resistance from activists, civil society organizations, religious leaders, and even some members of Museveni's own ruling party. Parliament Speaker Jacob Uliana told lawmakers during a raucous session that the legislation due to be introduced on Thursday afternoon was bringing tension. A Western ally who sent the Ugandan military to fight Islamic militants in Somalia, Museveni, applauded in its early year of his ruling for restoring stability after years of turmoil and for drawing foreign investment. But rampant rights violation, entrenched grave and dysfunctional public service have since eroded his standing and fueled opposition to his rule.
Major news from the international scene now. On the sidelines on 72nd General Assembly of United Nations, the President met with several African heads of state during a dinner. The occasion for this current tenant of the White House to give some detail on his vision on the continent. More detail.
Donald Trump congratulated African countries on their economic progress. The U.S. President shared a dinner with several African heads of state on Wednesday in New York. The President of the United States said that he was interested in increasing U.S. investment in the continent. Africa has a huge commercial potential. I have a lot of friends who are going to your country to try and get rich. I congratulate you. They spend a lot of money. The commercial potential is enormous and represents huge market share for American companies. 6 of 10 most dynamic economies are in Africa. South African President Jacob Zuma took advantage of this to demand that the international community improve the living conditions of the most disadvantaged and slow down climate change. We call for the cooperation and commitment of all member states of the United Nations and the international community as a whole to resolve this phenomenon. Developed countries in particular have a historic and moral obligation to achieve an equitable economic and global investment, he said. Fayez al-Sarraj, head of the Libyan government, supported by the United Nations, called for an international effort to lift the country out of the political stalemate and put an end to the unrest that followed the 2012 insurgency. The political agreement that the Libyan people have chosen after 3 years of negotiation remained the cornerstone for forging state institutions. We are transitioning to a more stable country. This year's meeting is dominated by tension with North Korea, Syria, the Iranian nuclear agreement.
That's all for this evening news. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful evening.